All of that. I think it's important to emphasize that both media and the Congress was very little aware of the situation in Taiwan, so we tried to get the media interested and to get Congress interested. As I said, I was a student at the University of Washington, and all of this involved a lot of phone calls. And during the month after the Melitao incident, I had a telephone bill each month that was about $800. And I had an income of only $512. I still remember that. But fortunately, the Taiwanese community was very helpful and they paid our phone bill. Otherwise, we could have never done that. Well, we actually found out about it during the time it happened, because when it was still going on, Linda, who was in Kaohsiung, she called us from the Melitao office in Kaohsiung, and she gave us a whole report of what had happened that evening. And so we, during those days, because it was so difficult to get information from Taiwan, we always recorded our phone calls. So I had the tape recorder connected to my phone. So her whole story I had on tape. So that was very helpful. When later on, 2-3 days later, we published the next issue of our newsletter. And in this newsletter, we could give a very accurate account of what had happened during that evening. Okay. Yeah, right. We moved back to the Netherlands. I had completed my PhD at the University of Washington. So we went back and started to live in the Netherlands. And from there, we continued to publish Taiwan Communique in the early years, still focusing on human rights, but also on press freedom. You may remember that in those days they had the Dangwai magazines from about 82 till about 86, 87. Many of the main people in the Dangwai movement, they would publish a little magazine, but usually the government authorities would confiscate or ban those magazines. And one of our tasks was to record all those bannings and confiscations and so on. So in the early issues of Taiwan Communique, you will find all the statistics that I drew about so many issues per month banned, confiscated, and so on, to document the lack of press freedom in Taiwan.